Hello and welcome. My name is Alonda Carter and I am the recovering Hunbot. And this is season 1, episode 14 of Hey Hun, You Woke Up. This podcast is brought to you on 10 different platforms, including iTunes and Spotify, also on Stitcher. It's available in a video format on YouTube. Today, I am chatting with my friend Beth. She is the queen of Spade. She also has a YouTube channel, so make sure you check her out. There'll be a link to her channel in the description, as well as her different social media handles. Now, our intent was for her to share her story with you and with me and all that sort of jazz. And she does, but we also kind of meander around and talk about things related to MLMs and just, really kind of have a chit chat, just two gals having a chit chat, really. And we also touch base of what's going on in the world right now, because honestly, how can you have a conversation with anyone at this time and not, kind of go into all that? So join me and welcome Beth. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know right now the world is a crazy place and our lives have just been turned upside down and you don't know if you're coming or you're going. And, it's really hard to even know, is somebody going to be available? Are they not going to be available? I mean, really, it's a mad, mad world. But I do want to say thank you so very much. And I know that you had the pleasure or displeasure, depending on how you really want to look at it, of not joining just one, but two MLMs, because, the first time just wasn't enough. And I know the one I want to start with is It Works, because I've got a bone to pick with them. And, oh my gosh, it's like those stupid posts that I would see. I need 5 models. It's like, are you kidding me? I wanted to just reach through the computer and just slap someone whenever I saw those. And you probably posted those as well. So tell us a bit about how you got involved in It Works and what your experience was.
Well, I got involved in It Works because at the time, my husband had actually just injured himself at work, so he wasn't able to work. And we were on disability. My daughter was a couple of years old, so, we had a little one, and we needed some financial help. I had a friend of mine that did it, and she looked like she was doing well on social media, you know how they do. And then, so I had kind of been watching her for a little bit. Then all of a sudden, this huge sale came, and every It Works person was selling it. I think it was $10 to join when it's usually like $100 to join. So I had someone message me and they were like, we're doing a sale. Do you want to join? Went and asked my husband. He was like, no, you're not doing that. You're not allowed. Don't do it. I bugged him for like 3 days. It was near my birthday. So I was like, give me a business for my birthday. Buy me It Works. I want to do the rap thing. My friend's making money. And it's funny because it wasn't even my friend that I joined with. It was a complete stranger that had just happened to write me during the sale. And I was just like, yeah, I want to do it. Let's go. And did it. I did it for about 6 months. It was pretty hardcore. I actually started my YouTube channel for it back then.
Oh my.
Did a few videos, and then went, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to do this out here. I had a team meeting, because you know how they do all the team meetings, all that stuff. And like, I was pretty deep. I was that Hun that was doing all the meetings. I was all over the team page. I was on every social media. They do challenges. I was doing every challenge, the stupid 30-day post challenges where they tell you what to post every day and all that kind of thing. The stupid like weight loss challenges, all of the challenges. They have like 500 challenge Facebook groups that you have to join, right? When you join them, it's like weight loss, working out, keto, 5 million. So I was like right in Hunbot galore. And then I do this meeting, and now here's what happened. I also ended up going back to work full time. I went and got a job at McDonald's. Straight up. I went and got a job at McDonald's because I wasn't making money from It Works. So
Imagine.
I'm working at McDonald's, and at the same time, I'm obviously not able to give enough to my business. So I was kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. And it's kind of funny because my upline bugs me to do this training call. She's like, maybe you just need some motivation, right? You just need to come on the call. It'll help pump you up. And then you'll want to go work your biz. It'll be great for you. Let's do this. Like, okay. So I go on this call, and it's like one of those Zoom meeting team calls. You know, we got Denise Walsh, we got Barbara, we got all of the big Canadian and American Hunbots in there. And this team meeting starts off, and everyone's telling about the products. It was a product team meeting. We were going to discuss the products, how they helped, blah, blah, blah. And a girl comes on, and she starts talking about how she has complex post-traumatic stress disorder. I also have that. And then she starts talking about their product that's Confianza, which is supposed to be like this all-natural supplement you take, and it's supposed to stop your body from feeling stress. Like if you're stressed, anxious, there's no science behind it, of course. There's no, like, I can't tell you how, never could explain how. It's a whole lot of jargon that you tell people, right? A bunch of big words and jargon. And so I'm not really sure how, but this is what it does. But what worried me is when she was talking about it, she then said she had gone off of her mental health medication to start taking the Confianza and was replacing her mental health medication with the Confianza. And everybody was like, oh my God, that's so amazing. It's so awesome. You can do that. Now, I have this. I also have my social service worker, and my experience is in mental health. So I've also done medication management with people with schizophrenia, bipolar, PTSD. So I'm over here like, you need medication for that mental health disorder. Unfortunately, things like really severe PTSD, bipolar, schizophrenia, you probably have to be on meds for your life. So I was like, oh my God, this is not good. What's going on? So the meeting freaked me out, which was supposed to be my motivational meeting, by the way. And I'm kind of freaked out. So afterwards, I'm like asking people, because I'm like, if it's an aid, I might be okay with that. Like if you take it with your meds, and then this thing also helps your body not feel stressed somehow, that we never know how, but it does it apparently, then maybe it could be good, right? Like as an aid. But nobody should be like replacing medication with a product from a company with no medical background, no testing. We have no clue what if this can even help PTSD, because we don't even know what actual mental health meds can help it. So I just don't think we should be going with It Works products right now, you know? So I'm asking them, like, I need the information. Like, I'm going to need you to show me a little bit more now. Like, now I need the research. I need something to say this product's not going to, like, have people off their meds wigging out in the world now because they're on Confianza instead, you know? Like, that's a problem. And they just totally took the natural, like, oh, well, it's good to not be on medication approach. Which, like I said, that might work if you just have some anxiety, some depression. Yeah, there are lots of ways to, you know, help yourself. But with something like complex post-traumatic stress disorder, bipolar, schizophrenia, like the bigger ones, no. Like, no. Like, they shouldn't even be doing it for anxiety and depression, but like the bigger mental health issues. So I'm asking, they're not telling me anything. And I actually started to get a little bit upset with them because I'm like, well, I can't promote this. And the thing was, is that I had gotten Confianza in the past and had promoted it. I actually wrote a whole article on
Oh, wow.
it, on the vocal. Oh yeah, I did. I'm pretty sure it's still up. But at least in my article, I said, talk to your daughter. Don't ever replace this with you. Like, don't ever replace your medication. So at least that's out in the world somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that wasn't the talk of the call. And afterwards, it seemed to be like that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to use this instead of the medication. And I was like, I can't help with that or be down for that. I can't promote this now. Now this whole company looks grimy to me. I'm out.
Wow. Because going back to my Beachbody Hunbot days when I was all in. Oh, I hate that expression now. There's so many expressions now that I'm just like, oh, cringe.
Right? Right? I know.
Awful.
I know.
And I'm like, oh my God.
I can't even do the whole nother level. That's the It Works one. Whole nother level. And every time someone says a whole nother level, I'm like, nah.
You're just triggered by it because it's like, just like it takes you back to that crap. But I mean, I can remember in Beachbody groups, because you're in a bazillion as well. And people come in and they
have
talk
like
about
whole on demand.
Oh yeah, well, there's that too.
You got a whole TV station dedicated to them.
To just it, which they're always pushing then Shakeology and other crap at you as well. But in the groups, the team pages or groups or whatever you want to call them, it doesn't matter. Just people would come and they'd be talking to someone. And it was all like, well, they've got X, Y, and Z, whatever issue they have. Has anybody ever had a client that had this? And then the Hunbots are coming there helping them. And it's like, you're not a healthcare professional. You're not a dietitian. You're nothing. But the problem would be some of them would be RNs.
But that's the thing. Like, some of them would have like some training, and you're kind of looking at them like, shouldn't you know better? Why are you here?
Well, now definitely on this side, that's what I'm thinking. But at the time I thought, if you're doing all of this, this must be legit.
But see, and that's the thing with these companies as well. And if you look into the doctors, because I'm sure you've been doing that now too, since you've been out here doing this, you will notice even the actual doctors they have attached, some of them have lost licenses in the past, or they're really just a paid doctor for the company, which people don't understand is that these companies can actually hire on a doctor, pay the doctor, and the doctor is going to say anything positive he can about the company. He's getting paid to say it. He's not going to go against it, even if he finds something that goes against it. Right. Unfortunately, the ethics go out the window with that.
Right.
That's why a lot of like people don't like for-profit agencies and social services, right? It's like the same. Once money gets involved, you're not doing it ethically, probably, and you're getting paid to just say whatever. So even the top doctors in these companies, they're really just paid gas bags.
Yeah, they're just mouthpieces. That's all it is. And the ones that I've really looked, I mean, I can't remember because I've looked at the behind, like basically structures of different companies, and I start digging into people's past, and it's like, well, is there any research? There's never any research. There's never anything peer reviewed. Maybe the company pays for a study, but it's like, well, that's not valid.
But if you pay attention to even the best studies, if you look further into them, they're really not even a study.
No, they're not. That's the whole thing, is that nothing of it is valid.
They did it themselves. They did their own study on their own product. And you're like, but that's not the same thing as doing the study you're supposed to for the FDA or something. Like, what are you? Okay.
and then the sample size will be like 5 or something. And I'm like, that's not a valid sample. I mean, like, but that's because with us, our critical thinking has come back. But when you're in the thick of being involved in an MLM, your critical thinking, it just It just flies
I,
on out the window.
I also think that for a lot of us, it's a mixture of we become a little biased because we're in it. So we want
Yeah.
to, but then we also almost like want to believe. Because when you're already in it, you don't want to be in it and then have what they're talking about not be true.
And that
Right?
goes,
Like you don't want to go there. So I think you almost look for ways to make it true.
you
It's
absolutely
like,
do.
oh, this doctor's talking. Okay, he's a doctor. I'll just tell myself that that means that this is good.
Yeah, and you don't even realize you're doing that because that's where all the cognitive dissonance comes in, because you have this one belief that everything is fine and dandy. You don't want to possibly conceive that what you believe isn't the truth, so you do what you can to rationalize it all so
Yeah.
that you can stay in your happy little bubble about the opportunity. It's hard for me to use that word anymore. It's like, it's really
It's
not.
like, can't even use it in a sentence.
A, how about it's a lose-opportunity, and that's not even a word, but it's like, you want to sign
Well,
up
it
to
is now,
lose?
okay? We just invented it. If
It's a
other people can
lose-opportunity.
invent words, we can too, okay?
Why not?
But see, that's the thing though, is a lot of people, like people that have never done MLMs especially, or people on the outside looking in, like they don't understand also how much brainwashing actually occurs, like from the very beginning. Even before you're in the company, they love bomb you right at the
Yep.
beginning. And you know what I mean? And it's just right off the bat, just pure manipulation. They don't understand either how constant it is, because they're like, well, you're at home and it's on social media, like you should just be able to pull away. And I think a lot of people don't understand that inability to disconnect, because in your mind you're telling yourself, if I disconnect from this, I'm not going to make money,
Right.
I'm not going to do well, I need to keep working. So they don't understand almost like the manipulation that occurs, because they're like, well, they're people you don't know. But the thing is, these people put the idea, they put the seed there, and then you manipulate yourself all day long.
Yeah. I did
Is basically what
self-indoctrination.
happens. Yeah, you do it to yourself without even realizing, because you get told by other people, you believe that, and then like we just discussed, then you go around rationalizing for the rest of the day.
Well, and like in Beachbody, we had success partners. So you check in with your success partner.
Well,
And I
it's the
had
same as
several.
an upline, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, and we'd sit there and rah each other, and then there's a bazillion different things that I paid to be a member of. Everybody was in an MLM, so we're all drinking, a different flavor of Kool-Aid, so to speak, but we're all in that belief system of this is going to be the thing. We are going to have this life of freedom. We are going to be rolling in the dough.
And see, you brought up a really, really important thing there about how you had like someone that you went to all the time. The other thing is that people don't realize is like when I was in It Works, we had a little team of like 5 or 6 of us, and we were on voice calls together all day long, every day. It wasn't just about business. We would talk personal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We became friends. So you also almost get indoctrinated into a friendship circle, and you think you're making new friends, but it goes deeper than just business, because you're making new friends. So there's a whole friendship aspect that gets thrown in there, and you're doing it all day. So like I'm in team meetings all day. I am trying to sell stuff on Facebook all day. You're doing all the posts, you're going to this group, you're going to that group, and then you have to go to the team page, and then you're also on like Facebook Messenger doing voice calls with them all day long. So you never really are out of it. And that's the problem with the whole social media thing. You can't disconnect from it.
Well, and then you also
And
have your
then they're
daily
friends.
activities. You're doing those daily activities. You're talking to your friends. You're checking in on these different pages. You're doing stuff to like, oh, well, my mindset obviously isn't right, because, everything goes back to your stinking mindset. And so you're doing more personal development, and you're watching a webinar that you found on YouTube or something, because,
and all the positivity, which I now call toxic
Oh, it
positivity.
is. It
Toxic,
is.
that's what it is. It is. You can actually be too positive. It's called toxic positivity, where you just positive, positive. It's not actually good to pretend to be happy all the time, even if you're not happy. Like if you're sad, please tell someone you're sad. Don't just pretend to be happy all the time, you know? So it's also like that whole thing too, right? Like it changes your whole mindset because you're doing the personal development, you're doing the positivity, you're being indoctrinated and indoctrinating yourself with all these activities. You got the friendships.
There's so many different things. And I kind of coined what I call extended reciprocity, because as human beings, if somebody gives us something, we feel obligated to then, return that.
Yeah.
And with MLM, it's like, okay, you are offered this opportunity, and because you have like these people that you're talking to, you're doing all these other things, you feel obligated to keep going and to show that you're worthy of some sort. And also for me,
Yeah.
I know it was like, oh, because recognition is always part of MLM. You're wanting to get approval, and so you're willing to like just throw everything out the window that is rational, because there's no rationality when you're involved in multi-level marketing, and you just start doing all those activities thinking that if I keep doing it, I'm going to be approved, I'm going to raise in rank. I mean, like, it's like going to have some kind of meaningful outcome, but the truth is there is no meaningful outcome, and all you're doing is buying the product and making somebody else money.
And I think it's also, again, back to the friendship thing. Because not only are you trying to do it for the business and you're trying to do it for yourself and whatever else, the friends also make you feel obligated. Because
Absolutely.
whenever you have that upline, they're always in your inbox and they're like, work your business, and you almost feel like you also want to make that person proud, even though you don't know them and it shouldn't matter to you. There's like something to that. Like you don't want to let them down. You don't want to let the team down. You don't want to let if you have downlines, you don't want to let them down, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what pulls you in too, is because once you start getting downlines, you really can't quit then.
Well, and I also think that it's so sick how you're manipulated in so many ways. That whole thing that, well, you wouldn't know how successful you could be if you quit. And so you get trapped in it longer, meanwhile, sinking in more money, more time, getting your brain wrapped around the craziness even more, and you just get trapped within it, and with that sense of obligation of that, you will just keep going. And that's like, if you get a little something, and maybe that little something is, I've spoken about this before, but with Beachbody, we had the national wake up call every week, and I won something one week. I was so proud that I won. And in the scheme of things, who gives a flying monkey's butt?
What did you win?
Oh, what did I get? Oh, I got the 21 Day Fix cookbook, and I got a 21 Day Fix like little tote bag. And I remember taking pictures and posting them on social media and being like, oh, this is so great. And I'm like, oh my God, people must have thought I was such a jerk when I did that. So awful.
Oh, I was a definite jerk. I even did the post like when I was with Scentsy, I had this purple Scentsy card.
Oh,
and
wait,
I
that's
even
right.
did the Scentsy card post. I was like, I just took my family to eat for dinner with my Scentsy card because I made $20 this month. Yay!
Because
that's what it would be like. Be like, that's all I made the whole month though. But I am so happy about this meal. I worked so hard for this meal.
But you and I can laugh about this now, but I know when you did that, you were like, this is everything. This $20 is going to turn into $200, which will turn into $400, which will be $4,000 before you know. I mean, you believe all of that. I mean, 10,000%, you believe all of that is going to happen. Okay, so you were with
Well, because you get told like work hard, and then in your mind, especially if you're already somebody that has that mentality of as long as I work hard, will do well. It's very easy to fall into that here, right? It's like, oh well, you just have to work hard, just do all these steps and just do all the things, and you will make it. Don't worry, you will.
Yeah,
You'll just be broke.
And it's like, it's so weird because there's so many things in my life that, I mean, I did work hard and I put in all the effort and I did achieve those things.
Yeah, exactly.
But when it comes to
So then
multi-level
you're like, I
marketing,
should be able to do this.
yeah,
This is easy compared to a lot of the things that I've done. I've achieved a lot of things that were harder than this. They're telling me it's easy. I just got
and
to
why
post
is it
on my
so
phone,
hard? Why is it so damn hard then? It's like it's supposed to be easy, but it's like the hardest thing I've ever tried to do because everybody's saying no. Nobody wants to say yes, but they're like, oh,
and that was the other thing. I've worked in sales before as well. So I'm telling myself, I know how to make sales. I have no problem talking to people in person. I can walk up to someone on the street and be like, hey girl, how's it going? I really like your shirt. Hey, have you ever thought of trying these wraps? Like, I was that girl. I could totally do it. So it was like, if anyone can do this, I should be fine. Like I've even worked in sales, because one of the things you always hear from them, right, is they're like, I don't know if I'll be good at this. I've never worked in sales. So I was like, I will be amazing at this. I've even worked in sales.
So you were like took the opposite approach of like, oh, since I've done sales, I got this.
I'm gonna rock this. I've done social media and sales. I'll be able to kill it. It'll be awesome. Literally, that was my mindset. I was like, I've got it.
Wow.
Writing posts, got
it. And see, with me, like, having, my anthropology masters, my instructional design masters, it's like, that's hard getting through all of that.
Yeah.
It's like all the papers I've written. And I mean, oh my God, it was in Scentsy. It's like, if I can do all that.
Yeah, I should be able to do some posts, make some money. What do you mean?
My gosh, I'm friendly. I know people. I can just go and start talking to. Yeah, I got this. I have a lot of friends. Oh, I'm connected. No,
because you can have a lot of friends, but that doesn't mean they want to buy your crap.
Yeah, you can know people and they can still say no.
See, here's the thing with It Works. With It Works, when I was in it, it actually, that was part of the problem. Is my first month, I did reasonably well. I made my $130 bonus, which was, I was all excited about my bonus until I found out that it could only be spent on It Works products.
Oh, get out of here.
So I was like, oh, I get $130. And then they were like, yeah, for the store.
Oh my God. Okay, that's just another way to sucker you in, to get you in deeper into the products. And so then,
basically that's what happens is you have $130. You can only spend it on the products. That's your bonus money. You worked your butt off for it, because I had to get 3 loyal customers and I had to make so many sales to get it, right? So I did that. And my poor 3 loyal customers were 3 friends of mine that I've known since high school. I'm like in my late 20s for this. I'm 33 now. This was like a few years ago. And they only bought it from me because they're friends of mine from high school. And they were like, okay, we support everything you do. We'll do it. Funny story. One of my friends who did that, when you're in the loyal customer program from It Works, you have to buy a certain amount of products every month, and you have to be in it for a minimum of 3 months. This is why It Works run on 90-day challenges. Because every 3 months, you need to find 3 more, because nobody ever spends longer than 3 months as a loyal customer. Because my one friend decided month 2 that would be the last month she would want a product. And she comes to me and she says, I want out. I don't even want one in the last month. I'm done with this. I don't want it anymore. I love you. I support you. But I can't get this product again next month. What do I have to do to get out of this? I didn't even know at the time. So I go look. So in order for her to quit a month early, she had to pay $50.
What?
Either had to order a product for that last month and just eat it, like just be like, I know I don't want this, but I'll get it. Or she had to pay $50 to opt out. So
That's
I'm
terrible.
frantically like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I look up, and the cheapest product is like the blueberry chews at the time. They were like $45, right? So less than 50. So I'm like, girl, just get this. You just save them $5. I don't know. Like, that's the best I can do, because unfortunately, I just found out you would have to pay $50. She's like, I'll just pay the $50. I will pay
Oh,
the
wow.
$50
I don't want the
to
credit
get
card.
out of this right now. Goodbye. Here you go. I love you, Beth. I love you, but I just can't do it another month. Like, these products are not good for me, and I just can't. And it was like, okay, all right, we'll do
Wow.
that then. She paid the $50 to get out, and my other friend pretty much did the same thing, although he just canceled his account.
Did he tell you, or
He
did you
just
just?
straight up, third month, it went to go out of his account, and it was just like gone. And I got an email that was all like, your friend had insufficient funds. And I was like, all right. So I like write my friend, and I already know what's happening because it just happened with my other friend,
Right,
right? So
right.
I'm like, same thing, although this one just didn't tell me. So I'm like, yo, man, what's going on? And he's like, yeah, no, I'm not getting this again. I'm just not. So I shut down everything. You can't take the money out. We're all good.
Wow. And see, okay, my cousin did It Works, and I ordered greens from her. And
Oh, the greens.
but when I went and looked at everything, I saw the loyal customer, which was much cheaper, and I saw the regular price, and I'm like, I just want to try this. I don't even know if I'm going to like it. I didn't want to sign up as a loyal customer, and I didn't. I just did it that one time.
Good
That was
thing.
it. Yeah,
Good
that's a
thing.
really good thing.
You would have been locked in, because they don't even tell you that. It's in like really teeny print at the bottom in like one little sentence.
How crappy.
And the thing is it's in like the policy of the loyal customer. Let's be real. How many people, when they sign up for something like that, actually sit down and read every single thing,
They
including the
don't.
small print, before they hand it in? And they're depending on that. They're depending on the fact that you're not going to read it all. You're going to think you're just signing up for like the 3 months and you can get out of it. They actually tell you, I'm pretty sure that they've said many times, you can get out of it at any time. That's part of the pitch often. You can get out of it at any time, right? Even in terms of signing up for the company, they'll say that. But no. So you're not going to read it. You're going to sign up. You're going to be like, okay, yeah, a couple months of this product. And then, like what happened to my friend, if you want out, then all of a sudden it's $50. And you'll be like, well, I didn't, like, where was that? And then they're like, oh, it was on page 6 of 15 of the policy in the fine print at the bottom. Didn't you read it? You signed it. It's
Oh
like,
my God. Okay,
no, I didn't.
let me just throw this in there because I don't know if you've seen this in my videos, but I was talking about, like, because I went through cancer and then laid off and then ended up getting an MLM, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, my beauty products like eyeshadow and just like, anything, girl, that stuff is like, 10 years or older. I had not been doing that. So I decided I'm going to get some of these beauty boxes because I wanted to like try, and then I can do some giveaways and stuff. Well, with what's going on in the world, guess who's canceling everything? That would be me. That would be me. I can't do those things because, husband's not working, and it's just, can't do that. And you know what? I didn't have to worry about. I just like called them up and I said, hey, I need to cancel this. There was no fine print. There was like, oh, to get out of this beauty box being sent to you, you've got to pay, $100.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
No, you can usually you can just cancel.
and
And the
that's
worst you'll pay is like if they've already shipped it out, you might have to still pay a shipping fee. Like that can happen sometimes with companies. I know there's been cases with like certain online delivery companies where it's like you might still have to pay the shipping, but they'll refund the rest of the money.
uh-huh.
That's usually the worst case scenario. Not you have to pay $50 if you want to leave.
That is just so, all I can say is scummy and scammy, It's just another way to dip into somebody's wallet.
Yeah. So that's basically what that company is it's just a really big trip. Because like I said, even with the stuff you win from them or your bonuses, a lot of times you have to buy the products. And the funny thing is they give you $130. This is a trick, right, too. So they give you $130. Do you think that you can make products, like order a list of products that actually equal $130?
You have to do it more. You're going to end up
No,
paying
it
more.
never will actually equal that. You either have to do less, right? So you might get like $110 worth of stuff, but then there goes that other $20. Like it just disappears as soon as you do the sale. It's that just, where did it go? Or you end up having, if you really do want to like eat up the whole bonus money, you end up having to pay out of your own pocket like $10, $20, $30, depending on the product that you're getting, right? So then, even then, you either end up losing a little bit of it or you're putting your own money in to be able to use it. And that's the trick. That's part of the trick as well. It's a little trick that they do. And you'll notice that with all of the MLMs, whenever they do like a bonus amount, it's always a weird amount, like 130. And you can sit there all day with all the products out. I've done it with It Works. And you can try to work it out to equal that. You won't be able to. It's set up like that on purpose.
That is just all I can
They
say
just
is,
don't want you to know that it's on purpose.
Yeah, of course they do. And you know what? You don't think about that stuff when you're in it, right? You're not like,
No.
you're not even worried about it. You're like, oh, you know what? I'm only spending $20, but look at all this stuff I got because this amazing company gave me this bonus and I didn't pay for any of that stuff. Well, meanwhile, that stuff is probably worth maybe $10. And so,
well, see, what happened to me is I was like, I'm going to get greens. I believe that those were like $50 or something, right? So there's 50 out of 130. Then I got like, I don't even remember. I got something else small too. And then I got a shirt because I had to have an It Works shirt.
Oh, yes.
Like, gotta wear the shirt around. And I believe it ended up coming to, I think it was about 110. Tax, whatever. And then I got free shipping because that was part of the bonus, is that you don't have to pay for the shipping, of course. And then I pay for it. And I'm thinking I'm still going to have like $20 left over for later. Like, this will be cool because $20 left over. Then the next time I buy greens or something, I'll only have to pay $25. We'll be good. I'll save $20,
Yeah.
No. Pay. Wow. Where did my $20 just go? And they were like, oh, you have to spend the whole bonus or else, it gets eaten up. And that's the other thing they don't tell you. So I was like, okay, so what if I didn't know this and I had just bought like the shirt for $20? Would I have lost the $110?
They're like, yeah, you would have. That's just the policy.
Yeah, they're like, yeah,
that's
actually, someone should have told you. Someone should have told you. We're sorry we didn't tell you. And it's like, okay. And they're like, well, you might have been able to fix it. All you'd have to do is call our customer service. Have you ever called customer service of an MLM company? It's worse than calling TELUS. That's what I want to do. I got a whole day of this now because that's how long it will take. It will take you 5 hours on the phone.
It's
awful.
They really.
I had my workstation crash. My workstation crashed on me once, and I had to call them. And I don't know what, we had no clue what we were doing for an hour on the phone after I waited 3 hours on hold and got sent around to all the different departments because they were like, well, we don't know what we're doing over here. Let me send you down to tech. And then tech was like, well, we don't know what's going on over here. It must be a login problem. So we'll just send you back up to the customer service. They'll set you back up with your login. I'm like, oh my God, just get me into it. So yeah,
wow.
That was a fun day. That was like a whole day of just trying to get into it. And that's the other thing. Those things break down all the time.
Yeah.
Whenever they have sales, break down. That's every company too. They all crash.
Oh God, with Beachbody, I know whenever anything new would launch, I mean, within 5 minutes, it's just all messed up. And I'm like, really? It's like, this is going on. Why don't you, IT can like prepare
Be
for this
organized.
stuff. You can prepare and prevent this from happening. Why is this? I never understood. Why is this going on?
They want the frantic.
Yeah.
They want the frantic buy. And I think they kind of like the hecticness, because I know with some companies, like I know LuLaRoe used to do this, and even some of the makeup companies with special products do this sometimes, where they'll let out like a special edition of something, but there'll only be so many.
Mm-hmm.
So then you get like this frantic of all the Huns. They're all rushing to the workstation. They're all trying to get them. So you have like 500 Huns just like, I want to get that product. And so it like creates this huge like frantic rush. And then you have like a few that get it. Then you have a few that don't. What happens with that is those few that don't, well, now they really want to get it the next time. They missed out this time. So now next time they're really going to get there. And it creates this like a frantic buying. I'm going to get it this time. I'm going to get it first. I'm going to be able to get the product.
It's the FOMO.
Nobody
the fear
else
of
will have
missing
this
out.
but me. Yeah. So I think they do it on purpose for that, because they could organize it better. Lots of them have been going on for like years now.
Right.
It's like, you guys should have gotten this like 10 years ago. Thank you.
And that was my point.
It's on purpose. I feel like everything they do is
calculated.
Is like almost like out in the open manipulation that no one notices.
Yeah. It's funny talking about like this crashing that I experienced, you experienced. And then I think about like, when Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson did the conspiracy palette launch, and I mean, it literally like it broke the internet, which is an unheard of sort of a thing. That, I mean, I can totally forgive them for that, because it was just like this, and I don't have the palettes. I wish I did.
That was just a frenzy because of the fans.
Yeah.
That was the fans that were like, oh my God, they got the palette. I have to get it.
Real customers. It wasn't like the internal customers. It wasn't like Jeffree was selling it to the people who work for him, and they all went flipping nuts the way go flipping nuts when something comes out. Gotta have it.
And that's the thing too that they do with, like, I've talked to a lot of people that have left, right? Because a lot of people write me now, and they'll be like, I left a company, and they'll want to tell me their story or whatnot. And I find that like that's what they'll say. In terms of that, the other issue is that you end up with only like 3 or 4 different special editions, and then nobody gets them. So what happens is they'll tell the customers, we'll be able to get you this, pre-order, and then it doesn't happen. Then these Huns are left to go back to the customer and be like, hey, I know that you pre-ordered this product, but they sold out. Sorry.
Oh my
gosh. And that's like the worst position to put a Hun in. And it's happened with so many different companies. Like, I know LuLaRoe's a bad one. I know it's happened with Unique with some of their like special launches when they first do like like they'll do like their special thing. And that is the worst thing ever, is when you're a Hun, and then you promise a customer you're going to get them something, and then this whole frenzy thing happens and you can't. And they don't even tell the Huns. Like, the company doesn't even tell the Huns, like, this is how many we're doing. Like, let your customers know. Prepare for this.
Nothing.
It's literally just like, go tell all your customers that they can pre-order this, and then when we come up with a few, we'll hand them out to whoever we can, and whoever doesn't get them can just go tell the customers, too bad. Like, it's like, okay, thank you so much for that.
This makes no sense.
Yeah,
and then business.
No, and then you have some poor Hun that's, and that's the thing that they don't care about. That just shows you that they don't care about the actual people, because they're all over here like, well, we don't care. We sold all the ones we had to. I don't care if now you're all embarrassed and feel like a piece of crap that has to go talk to your customer about why you don't have their product,
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Wow. It's so interesting. The more people I talk to, like, in these long calls like this, I don't know what to call interview, whatever, what we're doing, what we're doing right here, right now is that, I just feel like the deeper I go in the rabbit hole, the darker and dirtier and scummier it is. And just when you
It
think
is.
it can't possibly be worse, well, it is,
There's a
that's the whole
basement.
thing. Yeah. And then there's a sub basement, and then there's a sub basement, and then there's a secret basement, and
And then we're just digging to China. We're just digging to China. It just gets worse every time. But that's the other thing, is that it always will, because the harm that they do also, I find it gets worse and worse and worse as I'm talking to people telling me that they've lost like their houses over these companies, that they've lost their vehicles. People have broken up their
yeah,
marriages over these companies, lost like family members that they don't talk to anymore for 20 years, uh, from being in like Amway or something. Uh, that's the thing that gets me when I'm doing this. Well, the thing with Amway is that they are the oldest
yeah.
actual MLM. Like Avon's the oldest company, but it didn't actually start as an MLM. It was more direct sales for
Hmm.
women. Like it wasn't as grimy until more recently. But Amway is the first one that was like, let's be an MLM and start a company, an MLM company. And over the years, it's gotten worse and worse, more culty, more MLM like. But now what's happened is they've actually branched off to do worldwide dream builder.
Now there's a
And
couple
so
of there's
now,
worldwide dream builders. There's a couple of others because those arose
yeah,
out of the tool scam.
yep. And now we have actual people stepping out of that company, like that sub company of Amway, speaking out against it. We actually have some here on YouTube that are now
Yeah.
being threatened by Amway to be sued if they don't stop speaking out against
Oh,
worldwide dream builders.
they always try to
So
get you to shut up.
yeah, well, I always joke that you've never really made it in the anti-MLM community until you've at least been threatened to be sued by somebody. Like somebody has to threaten. Like I had Tom Brooks threatening to sue me. Somebody has to threaten to sue you, all right?
Yeah,
Or a company.
I've gotten a cease and desist, but this is from robots with Enagic, but Enagic took a page out of the Amway book because they have like these sub scams too. There's the breakaway movement, there's the ACE initiative, there's Darren and Mike and the CEO movement. I mean, like
There's a lot more.
there's a bunch of them, and all they're trying to do is like get people to come in and get their course. And me as an instructional designer, my eyeballs just start going, oh, are you kidding me? Because I look at their crap and it's like, I actually know how to design a course, and I'm looking at this going, this is just crap. It has no real. Can you possibly learn something from any of that? Sure. But you know what? You could learn that exact same thing if you went to Amazon and got a book. You don't need to buy their course
That's the
for that.
thing. They're not teaching you anything big.
No.
Yes, that's the thing, is that I've been looking into a lot of these like right now, because I plan on in the summertime I want to do a whole bit on the training, like that the people out here that most of them leave an MLM, they work their way up in an
Yes.
MLM, they do well for a little bit, and then they're like, I'm going to go create an MLM that teaches people how to run MLMs, and they do a training. So I've been actually looking into a lot of these training businesses,
Mm-hmm.
um, like uh, like there's 9 University. There's a 500 million for It Works that I've been looking into. Even the Beachbody coaching,
Mm-hmm.
the business coaching ones. And I've been looking at, there's so many random, like there are probably a bazillion of these companies right now. Like
There
probably
are.
even as more companies teaching you how to be an MLM than there are MLM companies at this point.
Well, you know, a big problem. A problem I have, like, okay, I'm watching this one person, and I'll admit it. Yeah, I fell for his paid affiliate marketing thing, but now he has something where you can start your own online school. And I really should, I should do a video sometime just looking at the subject lines of what he's sending out in emails.
That's what I was gonna say. I want you to do that.
Because I'm just having
you
that
have that experience, and you would know. And like I can even tell it's crap, but it would be really interesting to hear you like break down one of their lessons and like actually talk about the whole thing, because I find that a lot of the information in them, like when I'm looking at it, because I've figured out how to get some of the lesson plans for them, and it's nothing. It's nothing. Well, you know, I'm like, I could, like, it's literally just the MLM training that you pay for now. Yeah. And they say they know social media. Like, one of my favorite people, and I have to do a video on him soon, because me and him got into like an actual argument. so now I'm just out to get you, Johnny Jumpman. But yeah, Johnny Jumpman is an It Works male robot that used to do a lot of like the trainings for social media for It Works. But he would always come out and talk all of this, like, I have a guy on the inside that works on Facebook and YouTube and all of the places, and he tells me all the inside information of how the algorithm works. And if you know anything about social media, you will know that there is nobody out here that actually understands how the algorithms work.
Well, and they all basically kind of work the same way.
You know, if you pump out a lot of stuff, then people will see you, but there's no inside. Yeah, there's no inside person that knows all of the algorithms of all the social medias that Johnny Jumpman is connected to. I assure you, he's not buddies with anyone. So it's like, and I know social media enough because I've been doing social media out here, even with like advocacy for domestic violence and addictions and stuff before MLMs and before anti-MLM. And so like I'm sitting here like, okay, but I already know all this.
Right.
Like I learned all this on my own in my living room, couple months, didn't take me long. This is the basics. You're teaching me the basics. Yeah. And I'm paying for it. Why am I here? Thought you were giving me inside information. Maybe we need to get Johnny Jumpman back because apparently he knows somebody. I don't know. But that's what it's like. It's basic information. You could probably Google it and it would pop up free. So well, you know, don't pay.
When I look, okay, the Darren and Mike's, I was able to get into their training until you got to the part where you had to actually, you know, spend $5,000 to join a Magic, but because it didn't unlock everything. You spend $149 to get their course, but you don't get the full course until you buy $5,000 machine. That's a water filtration machine. That's their scam. Yeah, I am not kidding. And there's a bazillion of them doing the same kind of thing. Imagine, oh, and they can finance.
Wait, the water filtration. I think
Kangen water.
Filtrations.
Kangen water. Yes. Oh, it's bad. It's bad. More people need to look into what these people.
I think I'm going to, because somebody mentioned that to me recently too. They were like, "Have you ever looked into the water filtration thing?" And I was like, "Now that you mention it, I will probably look into it." Because I do know that we did have a water MLM for a little bit. I don't know if they're still around, but I just remember in the anti-MLM subreddit.
It's the same one. It's
for a little while, they had posted up they were selling pure water. And they also had an air one. So you got a canister of pure air to breathe in, and then, you know, just whenever you want some pure air. And
well, look at my playlist on the Magic, because I have all the stuff there, you know, because yeah, and that's who I got my first cease and desist from, was from Darren and Mike. And I also had recently somebody make a privacy claim on my ACE initiative one, which what I did now is I just took it down, but I've already redone it. I just haven't re-uploaded it. And because there was a privacy. And so now I have things popping up. Oh, I'm blurring them out, because of privacy. I just keep on privacy.
See, like, that's the funny thing about me is that I've had like copyright strikes and I've had like drama and whatnot, but my stuff never has anything to do with Huns. I made the mistake of being critical of Chris Hansen and his scams. So it just involves all those people.
Yeah, I had a bunch of their people like came after me. And now, I mean, in this video that I put out on ACE Initiative, that was put out like in October. And we're in what, March? And you're coming after me now?
Oh yeah, I put out a video about Scentsy like ages ago. It was before Christmas. And people are like really just starting to comment under it now, getting really mad at me about it. I'm like, you're a few months late, but okay, I guess we'll do this now.
Yeah, well, I think that these people think that, oh, she took it down, so we got her to do that, but I don't think they realize, oh, yeah, no, I've got another one. I just haven't had time to make a new thumbnail and upload that sucker. I mean, it's going out, but go ahead and feel confident that, you made a difference, but you really didn't, And the funny thing
that's the thing is that even if they copy strike it, like I got a copyright strike from Onision himself.
Oh, holy crap. Really?
Yeah. And he actually, like, he picked apart the video and, like, picked out all different little pieces that I had to take out of it. So I had, like, so I was like, fine, whatever, Onision, I don't care. I'll just take it out, okay? I'm not doing this with you, brother. I'll just take it out. So I do, and I put it back on, and, a little while later, it doesn't make sense anymore. The video doesn't make much sense, right?
Right.
Because I put it back on, and then I'm watching it, and there's all these cuts because I've taken out a whole bunch of things he wanted me to take out. And then I'm like, okay, this just isn't making sense. Like, I'm just going to take it down. And then I had a bunch of people, because in my video I had mentioned, like, I didn't believe in the FBI investigation, Chris Hansen, whatever. And then I had a whole bunch of people coming at me after that, and they were like, oh, see, you took the video down. Did you realize you were wrong? And I was like, no, like, Onision just copy struck it, and I didn't want to deal with him. What do you mean? Like,
oh my, well, see, that's the whole thing. Well, I think that goes back into they drank the Kool-Aid that this person was serving up, and then they'll say, yeah, I'll take another cup. And so now they think all of this stuff, and they're like, oh, well, we really got her. Look at this, because she did. And it's like, but no, you were just kind of inconvenient, and so
here's the thing though, out here, usually if you copy strike someone just because they critiqued you, you're actually the baby.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That had to take down their video. So like, you might want to let them know that doesn't fly. Like, we just went through a situation with a few friends of mine where we had some crazy lady that's saying that since a friend of mine did a video on her, she was going to go flag down all his videos. Like, you can't do that. You can't just get mad someone makes a video on you and copy strike or flag them. That's not how this works, because technically I think we're kind of commentary in a way out here. Like, we commentate on the Huns. So it's like the same thing we do. Like, in Emily Leah, when she does a video on a Hunbot and she blurs out her face and she's talking about what she does, like, that Hun can't then come and flag down her video. Like, it would just be silly.
You such a wussy though. That's why they'll, like, if somebody makes like that privacy claim, they're like, privacy claim. It's like, but they're a public figure. It's a public figure.
Well, I dealt with that with Tom Brooks, because I had a bunch of people in the 90 Day Fiancé community come to me in like October and November. They were like, I really like your content. I want you to look into Tom Brooks because I think he's in an MLM. And I was like, oh, Lord. So I went and looked, and he's doing that Organo Gold mushroom coffee. Okay. So I do a video on it, and Do a video on it, post the video on my Instagram, and Tom himself shows up, right? And he's all, you got to take this video down. I don't like this video. You're just, he like thought I wanted him or something. So I did the video. I don't know what was going on, but I was like, I just don't like you and your organo coffee, Tom. Like, just stop selling the MLM to your thousands of followers. He had this like one fan that was really, really into him. He actually like gave her a lap dance and got her to sign up for the company.
That's
like
awful.
some really some really like creepy stuff. And I was like, Tom, I'm just, doing these videos so that you learn not to act like this. Since you're 90-day fiance dude and you have a big social media now and you're getting your social media followers to sign up for this MLM under you, I'm just checking you, man. I'm just checking you. You'll be okay. Like, it's not going to ruin your life. And he was like, I am going to sue you. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, what are you suing me for? And he was like, I'm going to sue you for slander. You're slandering me with this video. And I was like, I'm not saying anything wrong. I mean, I poked at you a little bit in it. But, I mean, all I said about you is you're a social media influencer, correct? You were in 90-Day Fiancé, correct? Now you're doing this MLM, correct? You're signing up your fans. I got an example of one. A really creepy situation, too, by the way. Like, so there's nothing you can take me to court for. And I'm still waiting.
Well,
I'm still waiting for the paperwork, Tom.
It's the whole slap lawsuit. It's that whole threat of to be able to take somebody when it's a critic.
He actually thought I was going to be like, oh my God, Tom Brooks is going to sue me. I better go take down that video. And it was like, that's not going to happen. Like, I'll see you in court, Tom. I would I'll live stream that whole thing. What do you mean?
Right. Well, that's why I'm going to pop this sucker back up. Because, I mean, I'm sure they're thinking, yeah, we're good now. It's like, oh no, baby doll. I mean, it's going back up.
I'm just redoing it.
Back up. It's going back up.
It. Don't worry.
And that's what happened when I got my first cease and desist from Darren and Mike, because YouTube just took the video down, and then they sent me a cease and desist. But then again, I also know Doug, so Doug was able to respond to their lawyer. I'm like, and I guess they thought like, oh, that's done. Well, then that's why I have a whole playlist now on Enagic, because I was able to dig even more into it. It's like,
Yeah, you're like, you know what? You tried to shut me up. Now I'm wondering why.
I'll talk
why are you trying to? I am going to find out what it is that you're trying to hide, because it's obviously something if you're trying to shut me up. So, like, right?
You should definitely look into that, and then we can do a little, thing talking about like, your take on everything, because I do think this happens to be one that needs to be spoken about a lot more, because
it sounds really huge.
It is.
It's like in more ways than one. Like, it sounds like it's a big company. There's a lot of people involved, and then also the product is a big product, and it's really expensive. Like,
there are so many different things wrong with it. Back when the Samoa measles that outbreak was going on, there was someone that was using the Kangen water, spraying it on people, saying it was going to cure them.
Oh, that's like Chris Hansen right now.
Oh my gosh!
Chris Hansen says
he
has the nano vapor, and if you get it from him, and his doctor buddies that just created the company this month, then you put it on all your surfaces. You can apparently even put it on your own hands. It's the same stuff that they use to clean out jets. Like the stuff they use to clean out jets and airplanes. They want you to put it on your skin.
I don't think so.
Don't do that. And it's supposed to protect you from COVID. That's what it's supposed to do. And he is actually promoting this on his channel right now. You can go check it out.
Oh, I think I will. I'll have to check it out.
I have a few friends of mine and I that have just been like wigging out over here over it.
Well, when
what is happening with Chris Hansen?
When I did the Amway thing, I found a couple of people, I think they were from India, and they were basically saying the Amway products could protect people from it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, I did.
There's essential oils.
Yes, at a Beachbody.
We got the Huns. I actually did a whole video on that recently. I did a whole video on all of the, like, I literally, for a whole week straight after this came out, when I was looking for Hunbot posts, like, I went and told one of my friends, I said, I don't even feel like I'm hunting for Hunbots right now. I feel like I'm hunting for COVID. Like, every single Hunbot post right now is like, are you at home and you can't work because of COVID? Or it's, I got this product that will protect you from COVID. It's like, what is this?
Yeah, well, I mean, and all of that goes back into, they've been indoctrinated into the fantasy world of MLM, and they believe all of that.
And they got the sales. Yeah, it's drilled. So it's like, in normal people, they don't always look for an opportunity to make money.
Right.
Even if you're in sales, you might not always do that everywhere. But it's like they've been so indoctrinated with that. So anything. they see bad experience even with their friends, and they're like, oh, I wonder if I can make money off of this with my product.
But I don't even think they're the way, like, I think they frame it like, how can I help them? The underlying thing is, how can I make money from them? But I don't think in their mind they're thinking how I can make money. They're thinking like, oh, I have things that can help. I'm a helping Hallie. I'm just going to help people. And it's like, but you're actually destroying yourself the more you're trying to help.
And that's the funny thing about it, is that that's the problem with them, is you get into this like void of that, right? You think you're trying to help people, but you're just destroying everything. And it's almost like this big cycle that just goes around and around and around with everything that you're doing with everything the MLMs. You get deeper and deeper, but then getting deeper is what makes you go deeper. And it's like this,
that rabbit hole, just deeper and deeper and deeper. And then there's more rabbits in there with you. So you think you're doing the right thing.
And some of those rabbits are apparently doctors and like RNs and stuff. So you're like, no, we're good. We got professionals here.
Yeah. I mean,
professional rabbits.
They have special titles too. I mean, it's just, it is just really disgusting. I mean, I have a lot of choice words, but I'm just going to, refrain from using some of those choice words. I'll let people just wonder. But it's just such a.
I think they know.
I'm pretty sure they do. It's so terrifying because and I think you probably fall along the same lines of this, is because I've done so much into it of that. It's MLM is cult. I mean, it just follows the bite model.
I just did the bite model.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which.
I have a whole series. It's called The Manipulation of a Hunbot, and that's what I look into. I have an episode that looks at the American dream and how that plays a role in the manipulation, language, and
I've done that too.
Perception. Yeah. I also have one on that exact thing. So I just did a 2-part on it of the bite model in comparison to MLMs. And it hits almost every single point.
Every single one of them. I did one that was on Beachbody specifically.
2. Yeah, there's like 2 that it might not hit, and more of them are like the sexual ones. Like, because there's a couple of like more sexual thing. That's it though. And even then I was like, but if pure romance keeps up.
Right.
And then you have Nixium.
Yes.
Nixium.
Yes. So then
I was like, but then technically we have done the sex thing with the MLM. So no, like, we have literally hit every single one. Like
all of it.
Yeah.
I did one video. It was on the business activity tracker for Beachbody. And when I started breaking it down, and I didn't realize it when I was doing it, I was like, holy crap, I'm hitting like everything in the bite model. It's like all here for that daily activity of this is what you're supposed to do. No wonder you get into this over and over, because you are constantly exposed to it. And yes,
repetition will manipulate you.
It will. It will.
And that's literally, when you're in an MLM, that's all you are doing all day is constant repetition. It's over. You're posting over and over again. You're asking people like to buy off you over and over again. Even the team calls and trainings
Yes.
are very like repetitive. Everything's just on repeat all the time.
All of it. All of it.
And I think you get almost
conventions.
stuck in that. Because here's the thing. I've talked to a lot of people after they've left, especially stay-at-home moms. And I said, what is the one thing that you kind of missed? Like, is there anything when you left the MLM that you were like, oh, you know, like, because we all know about the friendships, right? I'm like, of course you miss the friendships. We all lose the friendships. That's sad. But is there anything else, like, other than that? And the consensus from everyone I've talked to seems to be they missed having something to do so consistently throughout the day and in their lives. So you almost get into doing that. Like, and it's fun. Repetitiveness can be fun. You
You have a
enjoy it, especially if you're like a stay-at-home mom. Maybe you don't have that much going on. I know I started YouTube because my husband went back to work and I was like, now I need something to do since the little one's in school, you know?
right.
And it's that same sort of thing. So then they go, oh, well, now I have something to do with my days every day. I can do these posts and I can do this. So a lot of them say, and I know I felt this too, like after you leave, you miss that. You're kind of like, you're used to waking up every day and being like, oh, I have to do this post and I have to do this call and I have to do this. And then they're like, you know, and then I left the MLM and I woke up the next day and it was like, oh, I don't have anything to do today. What am I going to do with my time? And they were like, you know, like I enjoyed it. I was relieved. But at the same time, I did miss that, like that having something to do with the MLM.
Yeah. No, that makes absolute sense because you have your routine, you have your plan. It basically schedules out your day for you, you know, of what you need to do.
Yeah, exactly. And for a lot of us, like if you know, maybe we don't have a schedule that great. Like I know, for example, being a stay-at-home mom, you might not have the best schedule. You're not really scheduled in your day other than around your children.
Right.
So it's like you want your own kind of thing to do that's schedule that's for you, that you know you can kind of concentrate on that extra thing, and that's kind of what the MLM gives them
It
that
fulfills you that in that way to feel like you matter, that you are contributing, even if that contribution is I'm just doing these same things every single day and I'm not making any money.
But you tell yourself like, oh, but I'm still working my business. Everything's about, but I'm still working my biz. As long as I'm still working, you don't get anything for working it, but just keep working it.
But keep going, just keep going. You know, I can remember being told, when we were at in New Orleans for the Beachbody convention, my husband went with me. Where he works, the sister restaurant is in New Orleans, and so he's in the square, whatever it's called, where all the bars and all the crap is. I don't know what it's called. I do, but I
probably
can't.
Like the Hub or something.
No, whatever this place is. Anyway, he was in. I don't remember which place that he was at, but he recognized somebody as being with Beachbody, and apparently she was, you know, high up, and so he told him like, "Oh, my wife is here, blah 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 blah, and this is what she's doing." And he's like, "Oh yeah, she's going on the right way. Just keep going. Just keep going. It takes about 5 years. Just keep going." 5 years of getting nothing from it, and so then I'm going to be so indoctrinated into it. Now I'm stepping on everybody so I can make, you know, a little bit of scratch. That just sounds terrible.
Doesn't that sound so weird? Like it's such a weird thing when you leave to like look back and think about that, because it's like nowhere else in the world would I ever work for free for 5 years before I start making money. Like if you hire me from a job, you best be giving me a paycheck in a few weeks, you know?
Right.
I think it's like, why did I think? But I think it's because they promise you this huge reward at the end, because it's not only about them making money and being successful. For a lot of us also already have influence in our background of being an influencer or doing advocacy, doing something in the spotlight. So for a lot of us, and I know I was one of these people, I was like, they're going to help me be an influencer. I'm going to also get like the the attention, the following that I
From,
need.
yeah.
And I'm going to be all right with that. Right. And so I think for a lot of us, it's also that. It's like, but I also want that attention. I want to be that hun that gets brought up on stage
Yes.
and congratulated and celebrated, and she tells her story and it looks so fun to do. I want to do that.
Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to walk across the stage. I wanted to be a 5-star diamond. I thought that was the bee's knees,
Yeah.
that, you know, I would make it. I mean, it's like, but then I think about it, with having that mindset, it was like I downplayed everything else I had achieved in my entire life.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, oh, what? All of this other stuff means nothing, which is complete BS, you know? But I was convinced that was the way. That was the way. It didn't help with me that I was so badly burned from corporate America, how I was treated when I dealt with cancer and everything. I mean,
and they depend on that, right?
Absolutely.
Like they're going for the people that don't want that. That's the line that they always use is, you don't want to work a 9 to 5. You want to come work for us instead. So it's like they're depending on reaching out to the people that.
And you know what's so funny?
Want to do that?
Is that, okay, when I went through the whole cancer thing and I was laid off, then I was like interviewing. And I can remember this one interview because I was still going to my cancer doctors. And I was saying like, okay, do you have, you know, flexibility to be able to work from home on occasion? Because I mean, literally, it would have been like 4 or 5 hours between me, like going to where I needed to go to my doctor, seeing my doctor before I would be able to drive back to the office. Opposite ends of Houston, okay? So it made no sense to me. Like that just sounds stupid. So, you know, I'd work from home that day when I went to the doctor. They didn't have that. And so I ended the interview right there because I'm like, okay, that's just stupid. And now with what's going on in the world, guess what? Everybody is working remotely that can. And that's the thing I was looking for, is like, I just want to be able to be in my own environment.
Do you know what? Maybe this will fix the problem. Maybe we will just all start working remotely, and then we won't have these awful companies out here promising people that they can have flexible hours from home, because we'll just all be working remotely. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Then we can really shut these things down.
I really do think that the way that we work will be forever transformed. Well, I think there will be, people are going to be more open to remote work. For instance, like I was telling you, the company I work for, that's putting together all these things of how to get people up and running, working from home quickly, and all these training.
A lot of companies are now. They have to. Like even social services, like when I was working in them, they were starting to do it to get all the computers and stuff so that us workers, because we worked out in the community, wouldn't even have to go back to the office. We could just carry around a laptop, do our case notes on the laptop, go see the next client, do the case notes on the laptop, go home for lunch if we want to write up reports. So like, I feel like we might be heading that way anyway. And if we do, that will help this problem, because that is legit what these MLMs promise people that they're not getting out of corporate America. So if corporate America would just come around a little bit and, you know, do the remote thing a little bit more, start maybe paying attention to the fact that, you know, people do want to spend more time with their families and be able to work a little bit better, smarter, whatever, then we don't need these companies. These companies would eventually dwindle out because you're not making money with them, but you're able to get all the same benefits.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So eventually, that's the only benefit that they have over anything else, is that you convince yourself that you're working, what is it? Work smarter, not harder, that they always say.
Yeah, that you have this flexibility.
Yeah, and the flexibility, and you can be at home around your kids and that's literally the only thing that they have one up on normal employment. And
now everybody's home with their kids, figuring out how to be, you know, do homeschooling and work from home and all of that.
You know, I'm just over here like, don't sign up for the MLMs though right now. They won't help you.
That's my whole thing too, is because, you know, MLMs are going to swoop in whenever there's a crisis, you know, that people are going through.
They already have.
Yep.
Already happening. They're already all over the place.
The thing that I worry about are the people, especially like, I guess, people in the service industry, like, my husband isn't, but, people in the service industry with all the restaurants and hotels and everything's impacted,
Well,
they don't have anything to do, and so there might be some that are like, oh, well, this sounds good because I need to make money now. But then there's also this problem too, is that because so many people are out of work, guess what? They don't have money for your MLM product.
yeah, see, but that's kind of like the funny little like catch 22 that happens though, right? Is it's
Right.
like but you don't know which way it's going to go. Like, it's like, that they're going to use this to try to get more people to sign up. And it's like, it might work. I just hope more people are broke. And then you're like, but that's not a good thing to wish on anyone either, but okay,
I just hope more people are pulling back what they're spending money on, and maybe being, reflecting and be like,
yeah,
maybe because I've talked about this. I think last week when I interviewed Nicole, something that I really hope, and I've talked to my husband about this too, is I hope people's lives will become simpler, because I think that we've been so overscheduled, especially like with kids and like just with everything. Yeah. And it's like, I know growing up, I used to have like dinner at home, and, like it was, much more, quote, traditional, if you will. But I think there's
right now, yeah,
simplicity.
We've entered this like weird thing in society where everything is go, 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 go all the time. Like when I was growing up, I only had like 1 or 2 activities a week. These kids nowadays have like 1 every single night, 2 every night. It's like,
all
does
the time.
Your kid really need to be in all those activities? When do they do their homework? When then they rest? Like,
yeah.
So that is essentially a really big problem with it as well. And what can you do when you are a mom and you're running all over the place and blah, blah, blah to make money? You can do an MLM.
Oh, but don't. But also now I think it's a great thing is that it's forcing people to cook at home. Or, and if you can't afford to go in and support your local restaurants, please do so. Get takeout, do that. But I think that having this where we are like in our own little bubble, then you also have to entertain yourself. So I'm going, okay, well, can kids now start using their imagination again, where they're not just like tethered to everything? Maybe they'll just go in the backyard and dig in the dirt, and just like.
Yeah, see, like, that's the thing. My daughter, she doesn't have a tablet. She's 5. We just got her one, and she hardly ever does it. She usually has like TV playing in the background, but she grows up like a 90s kid. I don't do the whole electronic sitting on the couch thing. We don't, no. And we play outside, things like that. Because, some of these kids today, they're just on the tablet all day, and then they're watching TV, and then they're watching, like, my daughter's already watching YouTube. And it's not because I do it.
Well, I am just hoping that we'll get like a simpler life out of all of this. One of the things that gets to me, and we should probably wrap this up soon, because I could sit here and yak all day with you, because is, I think about like the beauty community, and I love, all the products, but it's like, how many palettes does anybody flipping need? You don't need like 500 of them. I feel like we've been just consuming things to consume. And I'm hoping now with this, now that a lot of people, they don't have that disposable income, maybe they'll be like, do I really need all those things that I thought that I needed? Maybe I don't really need. No, you really don't need all of those things. You don't. We can all do with less, and we can do more with less, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Well, because then what happens is you actually start concentrating on the more important things and spending your money on the real more important things instead of all the fluff, is basically what happens, right?
I know now with my husband home, and I'm gonna tell everybody a little secret on him. I love him to pieces, and he's kind of a weirdo. I say that with such love, but he makes lists of things. He has a list of every movie he's ever seen, and he like rates it. He has his wine list that he does too, but then he has about baseball. He has all these different lists. That's what he's doing. Oh, his music list, that's another one. He's refining his list during this time. He's like, I've never had the time to concentrate on this stuff. I'm like, oh, dude, you got it now. Knock yourself out.
You're like, have at her.
But we break up his day because since I work from home and it's not MLM, I always feel like I have to say that, even though I know you guys know I don't work for an MLM. But we take the
But
dogs
yeah,
out.
somebody in the comments is gonna be like,
Ah,
"Wait, you said you work from home."
it's like, not MLM. Let me make that clear. Hashtag not MLM. But we'll walk the dog. So Chalupa Tamale and my husband and I, there we go. And, and then we do longer walks. And it's like, maybe I'll drop some of the weight that I gained from all the stress that I've been under. So there's that. I see a lot of people out walking too and riding bikes. It's like, maybe we'll go back to doing some of those simple things. And maybe when society is able to come back together, maybe we'll do things like go over to each other's homes and like play Monopoly or something and just really
I
do things that are
know. Yeah.
so much easier than all of the hecticness that we've been doing for so long.
Yeah. And unplug.
People are starting to garden more. And I'm like, yay for gardening. I wish I had a little garden right here. But I'm like, I mean, all of those things that we can do. I just said we can do better. Overall, I think we can do better with how we take care of the earth, how we take care of each other. We can just do better, just with little things. Okay, I'm getting off my soapbox.
We're going on a room.
I can climb up on that box and stay up there and preach, but I'll just climb on down. Okay, I am going to stop this and then we can, kind of like wrap up together. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Beth. Make sure you do check out her YouTube channel and her social media handles as well. I am so glad that people like Beth are telling their stories about their time in multi-level marketing and also kind of diving into what I call the darkness of MLMs, which is more of the psychology, because it's really all of that. It's all of this underlying things that's going on, which you have no idea at the time that it is, because you just get sucked in. And I find it so amazing that Beth, just like me, all of the research we typically do when it comes to MLM, poof, that all went just right on out the window. If we want there to be a change in the world, and we want to shine a light on things that we see is damaging to other people and as well to the world at large, it's really up to us to speak out and start talking about it. And remember, change starts now.